Dun, 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 dun. Hey, everybody, it's me, True Power's Mine. Welcome to TPIM SR Live. Today's date, September, I believe it should be the 5th. No, it's the 4th, September the 4th, 2019, the year of our Lord. We want to thank the Most High for allowing you all to wake up today. Come up here in the show. Get the food that you need. Hopefully you guys checked out the main channel. I was happening to go through the computer here. I found an old show that I never released with Mark from Anaheim. I never really, I was going to put a couple bells and whistles on the beginning and end and all that. I didn't do all that. So I just released it today. Super, super interesting stuff. Kind of shorter than normal, just like an hour. But real food for thought. You know, folks, the time is running out. We know. Hey, welcome to the show. Hold on, let me open up the chatters. I can't see. I had it. Kenneth, welcome to the show. Brother David, welcome to the show. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that. You know, I got all kinds of stuff in the computer here that I really need to get out before it's too late or whatever. I want to talk about the war in the sky. What's going on in the clouds? I received some new pictures, and I also got some news, actually. World news kind of to talk about as well. The war in the sky. These pictures were taken by a confidential informant. This human being literally put their life in jeopardy taking these pictures, just like Brother Nick does. For security purpose, I will not purposefully give up the gender of the individual or the race or the location. They took enough risk just taking these pictures. Hold on, let me, here we go. I'm going to go through, these shots are actually beautiful too, by the way. I'm popping up another one right now. Hopefully that's coming through on the big computer. All right, I'm trying to look at that. This vapor trail here, the mist, in about 18 to 12 hours, that will like solidify into a so-called cloud. So will all this garbage here. Look how they're trying to blot out the sun. And all this is being done. And I'm going to pull up the white papers from the UN that everyone's always talking about, and we're going to go into this thing. What good is it for us to have all this damn knowledge, but we still end up breathing poison? We still end up drinking poisonous water. We still end up eating poisonous so-called food. What good is it? We have to understand the purpose of a thing. The guy who made the chemtrail juice, the guy who invented this juice did not do it just because. We need to understand, was he duped into doing it, or did he do it because he was evil and hated humanity? What is the duping to the deal with this here? We got to make this chemical to blot out the sun because the sun's getting hotter. So they make out this sun retardant chemical. But on the flip side, it ends up killing human beings. It grows cancer. It causes asthma. It causes allergens. It causes metamucil cells to go through the roof. See, everything always goes back to big pharma. A lot of times you're like, well, how does that work? True. What about bombs and missiles? Well, who do you think makes the drugs to tend to the wounded on both sides? Who do you think makes the drugs that the survivor of the war has to consume until the day they die? Who do you think does that? Purdue Pharma, perhaps? Bayer? So when you look at this evil, crony, capitalistic society we so-called have, it's not true capitalism, because if it was true capitalism, a lot of these industry of death would never have been allowed to carry on. And also a lot of brothers and sisters who have wealth would not be allowed to have the fucking wealth. And Pfizer. I'm not going to forget Pfizer. Industrial death makers. That's how we know this is all fake and crony. I want to get to the real, Brother David. I want to get to the real, Brother Kenneth. I want to get to a point to where if we decide to go to war as a nation, we go to fucking war. So all countries will see, if you mess with this nation, this is the type of devastation. These proxy wars are not in our collective best interest. These proxy wars are only in the interest of the corporations, who just happens to be the minions and puppets of European power. Oops, I said it. Who do you think had the gold to fund a couple of things? Who do you think has the vested interest in maintaining the current world structure? I tell you, it's not the little people. And we do another shot. I only have 8 photos, and then I'm going to jump into the news, okay, y'all? Hold on. Look at this madness right here. Just look at it. We could almost play tic-tac-toe up here. But no one cares, man. Brother, hold on. Brother James, welcome to the show. Peace, love, light, unity, victory, and knowledge to you. This is indiscriminate death, yeah. The war in the sky does not discriminate whose lungs it infects. It does not discriminate whose skin it will affect. Not yet, anyhow. Now, I'm not trying to give these fools any ideal to make ethno-Pacific chemtrail agents. Now, we do know they juice certain areas with different chemicals. Yeah, I almost can't say the C word, Brother James. Chemtrails make people go crazy. You know it does. Prince and Bubba Dick Gregory both tried to warn us about this. You and your ladies walking down. Hold on. Let me get this right here. Oh, you guys can't even see this. Hold on. Let me scoot this down. All right. You and your ladies walking across the gangplank here, right? Getting the love from heaven here, the juice. All right. Couple hours later, all suddenly over here, we hear fighting and screaming and kicking and clawing, and they're not making love. They're literally beating up each other. Oh, those people are just crazy, Brother James. Those people are just whatever, brother. Those people have been poisoned, my friend. Those people are underneath attack. And those people just happen to be my people, which happens to be your people So in essence, it's our people being attacked. Let that really sink in. That there's some ass wipe out here who really feels that humanity is unworthy, who really feels that we are just guinea pigs and we are just evolved apes, we are just soulless beings, that they have the psychological capacity to make us such monstrous things, and they have the wickedness in their hearts to actually deploy these weapons. It's a war going on outside. No man is safe from Prodigy. And once again, I want to hit this home, y'all. It's not about safety. You live in a very uncertain universe. And the moment you start trying to play these damn games, oh, we got to be safe, Brother David. That means that you can't go out of your house until after 6. Curfew. Nanny state. Yo. Fuck that. I'm going to tell you a story. Yesterday, I took my 2 oldest down to the little creek. All right. Just so they can play around the water, chase some minnows around and fish around, crawdads, whatever. All right. I had them armed. I was armed, as always. Walked down to the creek, uneventful. No big deal. On the way home, I'm leading the way. We're following the little creek bed up to the house. And right in the middle creek bed, about a 3-foot long copperhead. This thing was mean, ready to go. I just happened to have my fog gigger there. I gigged this snake. I didn't hit it, and I just gigged it to gigged at it just to get it, because it's illegal to kill copperheads in Missouri, apparently. But that's not the point. The point is, even though it was a dangerous animal, and I had my 2 small children with me, did we become barbarians and just go all out nuts and kill this thing? No, we remain humans, and we did the human thing, and that is to gig at the snake, to prod the snake away from us, and then we carry on, and the snake carried on. Now, I could have justified, oh, well, I'm just going to take a chance, blah, blah, blah. But that's not what it's about. It's not about killing. The ends never justifies the means. Even though it's a copperhead snake, it can kill me. It has as much right to live just like me. And that's a part of our mental maturity. We had to quit doing evil shit and justifying it. Well, I had to take this motherfucker. I had to steal from this. I had to rob that. You don't have to do a damn thing but be righteous. And you know the difference between right and wrong. But you see, folks, being righteous is a negative thing. Wanting to uplift humanity is a negative thing. You know the reason why? Because it goes against the damn new liberal world order. What are liberals good at, y'all? Divide and conquer, baby. Girl, you don't need that man. Man, you don't need that girl. Children, you don't need to listen to your parents. Old people, you know those young people want your money. People down south don't like listen to the people up north. People up north don't listen to the people out west. And the people in the east, you're the best. That's what the new liberal world order's all about. Dividing us on economic, dividing us on nations, dividing us on class, dividing us on race, dividing us on sex, dividing us on sexual orientation, dividing us on economic viability. You notice I purposefully did not say intellectual ability, because they don't care about your intellect. You know the reason why? Your intellect is only full of garbage for the most part that you were indoctrinated to believe through school and training through your parents, which they have already been hit as well. I look at these pictures and I fucking weep. I look at these pictures and not only do I think about the person taking the photograph, but I'm thinking about all the unwilling participants that are being affected too. You come out this apartment up here or condominium or possibly even hotel. You touch the banister, you're touching the juice. You take off your shoes at night, you touch the soles of your shoes, you're touching the juice. Not to mention this breathing. You're touching the juice. I'm going to share another picture. Like I said, I only got 8 of them. not a whole lot, but enough to get the point across, I hope. You look up here at the sky. This poor region. Now, I will let you know this is it's not a southern. I didn't say southern. I meant to say tropical region because of the palm trees and just how green this grass is. I know my vegetation. You know, it almost sounds like someone's trying to break into my house. I'm tripping. I'm carrying on. I was gonna go and get my my sidearm, but I'm gonna carry on. If someone breaks into my house, yeah, I'm gonna try to give them a description of the individual before I'm brutally murdered because I'm sitting here without a weapon. But I'm also sitting here every day talking. Anyhow, when we analyze the actual physical consequences of chemtrails, what should we be looking for? Well, we might want to go to not the health department. What department takes care of waterways? They do all kinds of testing. The U.S. Geographical Survey. We're gonna go to their site and see about water readings. What's another effect we could possibly look at from a purely objective point of view? And that's personal testimonies from individuals who have suffered and maybe have some medical paperwork that relates to their illness that we can identify as coming. Also, we're going to do the United Nations white papers, drudging through all that. Probably going to hit the Library of Congress to do that. And I'm just telling you, like, where we're going. One more or 4 more pictures, and then we're going to go and hit this. Dare I say the mean streets of the internet. While that's loading up. Wow, that is such an amazing camera. Look at that plume. Just look at this. I mean, that's all jetty right down your face. Sister Aunt Alexandra, welcome to the show. I just happened to jump over. Yo, thing, homie. Blow. This is This is just amazing. I mean, people just don't get it, or else they don't want to get it. But this is what's messing us up. Hold on, let me go through the rest of the pictures and then we're out. Come on, shoot. And these are supposed to be trails left by jets. You know, they're supposed to just be water vapor and condensation, blah blah blah. You can obviously tell this is going to stick around like potatoes and meat on someone's ribs. And this one here, this brave soul sitting here taking these pictures so we can might have a couple of answers. All right. Now let me hold on one second. Holy smoly, I got a lot of them up. Oh. For some reason, I really like, I like that picture, man. So clear. All right, let me jump over here. Let's go to where we need to go to get some information. Man, that looks like that's a pretty good shot right there. But it blocks the chat room. There. Now I can see. Sister Barbara, welcome to the show. Brother Jay, welcome to the show. Peace, love, light, unity, and power to both y'all. Hold on, where are we going? Oh, U.S. Geological Survey, water contamination. Scholarly article for us, water contamination. Let's just start there. That's pretty much what I wanted to see. Worldwide occurrence of arsenic in groundwater. Now, arsenic, y'all. Now, I know you guys all know about, like, what's that? Cyanide. You guys all know about Agent X. You guys all know about all these other radical, like even the anthrax, weapon grade anthrax, and all that. You guys all know about all that stuff. Don't forget about the oldies but goodies. Arsenic is one of those products that's used in a lot of industrial applications, from etching metal to it's a part of chemical processes on certain paints and dyes and overlays on certain parts and whatnot. Well, when they spray that shit off, that shit goes right into your municipal water supply. It goes right into the rivers and streams. Similar to the fecal material from hog confinements up there in Iowa. Yes, I knew the U.S. Geological Survey quality assessment. Now, this is from 1984. You notice they're not really on it. Let's look at the PDA document. I'm going to post this in the chat room, so those of you following along on your Googles can follow along. And we all are on the same page. For the National Water Quality Assessment Program. Okay. What the? Uh-oh. She's locking up on me. My computer's locking up on me. All right, let me see. Factors, datum, abbreviation. Okay, we gotta. I don't know about y'all. I can't read that, because that's just a little too light for me. It has to be a little bit bigger. There we go. Oh, now I can see it. Better. A lot better. Oh, but now everything's not on frame. Damn it. It doesn't look like it'll all be in frame. I'm just going to make it to where it's at least legible. All right. So we got foot per second, gallon, inch per second, pound, square inch, square mile. So those are kind of like the dimensions we're going to be dealing with. Deionized water. So deionized, don't forget, we ionize salt for a reason. We add iodine to salt because iodine is good. It's good for the body. You'll find it in a lot of our, the real food that we should be eating. Natural foods. All right. Dissolved organic carbon. I'm going to get to the good shit. Raw unfiltered chill. I don't know what that is. Raw unfiltered treat. Okay, they're not going to just say arsenic and shit. I'm going to try to jump down here to some graphs real quick. PDF files, for those who have never dealt with them, and this is for the younger viewers, you're going to have to drudge through this, okay? They don't make it easy. Now, here we go. See, we drudge through it. Major dissolved solid major ions and metals, okay? So we're dealing with calcium, which is good for your body. There's a certain type of coral in the Pacific that if you ingest it, it truly helps your body. All right. Chloride, not so good for your body. Fluoride, not really good for your body. Iron, that's good for your body. Magnesium, that's good for your body. Manganese, I'm not for sure. Potassium, that's good for your body. Silica, silica. And then sodium, that's okay in moderation. And sulfates, not really good for your body. All this is great for plants, not good for us. Ammonia, nitrates, and then nitrate. Man, this is some nasty, nasty stuff. Look at this. Jesus. And this is actually in hourly or daily for 1 year. This is actually in waters. Holy shit. Just some of the most nastiest stuff you ever really want to think about. Take another drink. I'm trying to think what are some of these. Like this one here, I've heard of it. It's an insecticide. And I want to get clarification on something. All right. Uh-oh. I got my thing on. I couldn't even say the word.
Azinphosmethyl. Azinphosmethyl.
Azinphosmethyl. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hold on, I'm going to give you guys just a little breakdown on this real quick. I don't feel like reading. I got something else I have to do real quick.
Azinphosmethyl, guthion, also spelled as inophosmethyl, is a broad-spectrum organophosphate insecticide manufactured by Bayer Crop Science, Co. and Macteshamagan for like other pesticides in this class. It owes its insecticidal properties, and human toxicity, to the fact that it is an acetylcholinesterase inhibitor. The same mechanism is responsible for the toxic effects of the V-series nerve agent. Chemical weapons. It is classified as an extremely hazardous substance in the United States as defined in Section 302 of the U.S. Emergency Planning and Community Right to Know Act, 42 U.S.C. 11002. and is subject to strict reporting requirements by facilities which produce, store, or use it in significant quantities.
Damn. Bayer aspirin. Like I said, Big Pharma is always, and now you all saw that. We pulled a PDF file, and I pulled that by random, basically. And it came up Bayer aspirin right off the bat. Now, I ask you, seriously, ask yourself this, human being. If you're supposed to be a pharmaceutical company and you're supposed to be about extension of life, celebration of life, life without disease, why are you making chemicals that kill plants that we know we need now? There's no such thing as a weed. Every plant on this planet has a medicinal value to somebody, to some human being, to some subgroup, some racial category, if you want to go that way. Every plant has a purpose. If you're killing them, you're killing yourself, and you're a fool. And we're allowing it to happen. That's why I say we are a foolish nation. How many people are running up today on dialysis because their kidneys are burnt out due to glyphosate and metformin? When in reality, all they had to do is go in the front yard, eat a couple of dandelions, and they would have been straight. And modify their damn eating habit. Quit eating this fucking poisonous bullshit. That's why your body's getting out of whack to begin with. How many people are suffering from asthma? And the reason why they're suffering because they don't drink enough spring water. Not purified water, but spring water. We are dehydrated, folks, and we are malnourished people. I don't care how fat as fuck you are. I don't care how thin as fuck you are. Or average, whatever. You are in a state of famine. You are in quite literally a drought. You'll be hard pressed to go to any water municipality in these United States and in clear conscience get a cup of water and drink that without drinking some nasty chemicals, such as the ones you see on your screen right now. Well, right now, you can see it. I'm sure they were kind of messed up. And once again, we didn't break into the CIA secret vault to get this information. We didn't have to hack into some supercomputer to get the plan. It's right here. Brother James, the plan is right there in front of you. This is back in 1994. What do you think the levels are now? These people knew the consequences of this sloppy ass industrialization program they were running back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, 70s, and then they stopped the shit in the 80s. They're like, well, let's just send this shit all over to China. Let them pollute their groundwater. Let them pollute their rivers and streams. And let them pollute the waters of their people. You see how this evil shit rolls, y'all? And we still don't get away from it. Let me show you how we don't get away from it. We always think we're fooling somebody. Chinese products found to have a high concentration of lead. right here. I'm going to post this search link in the chat room. Y'all can follow along. It's gonna do one of those numbers on me, huh? Let me hold on. It's such a huge chat, and YouTube, for whatever reason, only allows 200 characters. Hopefully that link will work. Right here. This is I'm citing the source, YouTube. It's the Telegraph Company, UK News. All right. Almost 1/3 of toys in China contain heavy metals. 1/3. Now that's just in the toys. Lead poisoning in China. What did I just tell you? Hold on. Damn it. Let me try to scoot this one over. I hate not being all in frame. There we did. All right. Right here. This is 2011. All right. A lot of these stories are quite kind of old. Imported Chinese products. This is 2016. Imported Chinese products continue to contain lead. This is Jonathan Turley org. Cheap Chinese paint common on Chinese good. Or cheap lead paint common on Chinese goods. This 2007 New York Times. Another New York Times article, 2011. Lead poisoning in China, the hidden scourge. What does lead poisoning do? It drops IQ. Well, if you're a totalitarian dickhead, do you want a smart populace or a dumbed down one that can just follow orders, do some work, and then die? Well, then lead is for you. Fluoride is right up your alley. And look at our society as a precursor to what's going to be happening in China. Do you think that perhaps some of the reason why the people in the 20s and or like in the basically in the 20s moving forward have been objectively irritable, angry, hateful? In other words, during the times when we had leaded gas with lead in it, and it was a big deal when we went to unleaded gas, that's when you had the lynchings. That's when you had the wife getting beat up by the husband. I mean, on a very massive scale, we still have that, obviously, because I still believe people are coming into contact with lead. Who walks around with lead in their belts all day? Police officers. I just done told you, lead lowers your IQ. Lead stupefies you, dumbs you down. All right, let me do this, Brother James. I'm going to grab that up, and we're going to check it out. Silent disaster. All right. Hold on. Let's see if I can drop it in there. Nope, I can't. All right. Well, we'll just make this its own little window, and we're just going to roll with it like that. Because you're not going to stop this train. Because I tell you what, you're certainly not going to stop the FEMA trains to come. All right. Report provides no answer in Waycross child cancers case. This is July 2018. Georgia Health News. Silent disaster. It's always silent when we're dealing with these chemicals, ain't it? Until they go to court and they get that litigation, which often leads to true consideration, which is money being paid out. All right. Let's grab this up. I'm just going to X that all out. I can just roll with this one now. What's up, Brother Bird? Did you hear about Chinese poison? They are looking all Muslims up and say, yeah, oh God, yeah, sure. I heard about that, and that's bullshit. Shouldn't be rounding up people like that.
On a recent evening in Waycross, Georgia, government officials gathered around card tables set up in a semicircle on the polished wood floors of the city auditorium. There were representatives from the Federal Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry, etc., the Georgia Department of Public Health, the Georgia Environmental Protection Division, the local water department, and the city council. Even the mayor, John Knox, stood to the side, ready to greet people. Across the street, a police officer stood next to his cruiser, baking in the 90-degree-plus heat.
Now, what did I say? The reason why cops are dumb as fuck sometimes is because of that lead. This fool saying he's up against a cruiser baking in a 90-degree heat. Across the street, a police officer stood next to him. Why he sent his ass in the cruiser, turn that mug on, and chill in the AC like he has some sense? I don't know, boss. Let me chew on this Chinese toy. We got to get real, man. The reason why these babies are dying, I'm going to break it down. I ain't even going to read the story. I don't even need to. The reason why these babies are dying because some so-called capitalists saw some sort of economic opportunity to either dump hazardous chemicals or manufacture hazardous chemicals in this particular region. And it got into the water supply, it got into the soil, it got into these children, and it grew the cancer. It almost seems like if you really want to kill a nation nowadays, you don't have to blow it up with a nuclear bomb. Oh, that's too 1940-ish. All you got to do is put chemicals in this nation, which grows cancer, and the people will be attracted to these chemicals. And the next thing you know, the people will be dead of cancer. And here's the beautiful part. Bayer, Purdue Pharma, all of them make huge amount of money on your way out as you die from said cancer. Because you want that treatment, don't you? You want the juice, don't you? They put cancer cells in the black groceries. Don't forget about the black clinics. Let's be real. Come on, y'all. Let's be real. Let's analyze this shit out as if we had the power and we could do these moves. Now, you know, every factory knows exactly where that product's going to go to. Whenever you cereal box says, we got a grand prize. Someone working at that factory already know which cereal box that prize is in and which town that thing's going to. It's already in their logistics computer. Okay. So if you are a black-hating, can't stand us, you just want to kill us, harm us, and you have a chemical factory, how easy would it to be? You know that this truck is going to zip code 4404, and you know zip code 4404 is full of, as you would call them because you're a hater, little nappy heads. How easy would it be for you to juice up, or let's just say add extra to that batch of vaccinations, and you just run that truck right on down there to that area code and you kill them people? It is, Brother Shores, most certainly a biological racial war going on. I hate to say it like that, but that's what it is. When we have South African scientists who are dedicated to making ethno-specific viruses to kill people, I would say the bridge has been crossed on biological ethnic warfare. We have better start to understand before we are annihilated. I'm going to go right now. Hold on. I got killed because my computer's actually running fast for high-speed internet. See if they updated this with anything. I will say this much. My heart and prayers do go out to the people who are poor and they got hit by the tornado, or not tornado. I keep calling it a tornado. It's a hurricane. Brothers and sisters, this picture is the price of being economically non-valuable. Now I'm going to correct myself so that you guys don't get this shit wrong. I'm not saying this gentleman here in the white shirt is economically non-viable. I'm not saying this man here in the black shirt is economically non-viable. I'm not saying the brother man back here in the green jumpsuit is economically viable. And I'm not saying the two, and I'm assuming they're sisters. A brother and a sister, or holding a sister and trying to get her out of the way, are not economically viable. What I'm saying is collectively, their group or classification typically is. There's always exceptions to the rules, such as Oprah Winfrey, Master P, blah, 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 etc., etc. But the reality, for the most part, this group of people has been deemed traditionally in these United States as being economically non-viable. Now, you're not going to see that in any textbook, but that is the consequence of United States laws and United States practice of law. I wish I had a boat. I'll go down there and rescue all those people right now. I'm like a magical type Aladdin boat flying, not an actual boat. That'd be useless. It'll just fill with water and sink. But if it was a magical boat, it'd be awesome. But we don't live in a world of magic like that now, do we? For the most part, we don't. Here's the kicker. The reason why children are turning away from the old ways and old people, unless you're paid, they're not trying to hear none of that. These kids nowadays want the life extension technologies. These kids nowadays want the virtual reality. These kids nowadays want the cybernetic implants. And you're not going to stop them with your talk of, being righteous is more important, because they're not trying to hear it. Like all kids, they cannot see the end goal. And by the time they see the end goal, it's too late. They're already augmented, both psychologically and physically. What, you think these little computer devices that are radiating, changing the very DNA structure of little girls' eggs and little boys' sperm as they hold this shit in their lap, you really think that they don't understand? They haven't ran millions of supercomputer models seeing what type of genetic malformities or genetic deviance we should expect from future generations? Man, thank you, Brother James, for participating in the show and offering more information for the collective to dine on. Because this is what we're serving up, info here. I'm just like a short order cook. You need a hamburger? Boom, boom, here you go. You need steak? Here you go. Boom, boom, here's some eggs. Boom, boom. Hash browns. Blah, blah. I'm just throwing this shit out fast as I can. Truth starts with your children at home. Yes. See, Brother Shores came in, but that's what I said earlier in the show. That's the truth. This is algebra. I say something and it can be fact checked by the internet or another person. Boom. That's how you know it's truth, because they're in accordance. Oh, you deviant. Yes. The play was, all the comic books dealt with mutants and this and that back in what, the 60s. That's when X-Men and all that came out. Sister Ruth, welcome to the show. The buffering is YouTube. Before, most people would thought a lot of the concepts in the X-Men was like, it's sort of like Jack and the Beanstalk, pure fantasy. But as we move farther in time, the X-Men starts looking like prophecy instead of a comic strip, or in some cases, comedy. They always, for whatever sick, perverted reason, they always have to tell you the plan. And in other words, Brother James, if I was a part of this new liberal world order deal, I would be putting out stuff about, it's going to be so trendy when, you find the right man, being a man, when you find the right man to settle down with and build a family of two. And everything else is adopted, from the dog to everything else, because these two brothers ain't making shit. Now, I'm not saying that. Look, here's the deal. It is a numbers thing. Right now, I don't care what it takes to get you guys to reproduce. I really don't. I don't care. You guys need to start reproducing in vast quantities. Stop playing around. And I don't even know why I'm saying this, but it has to be said. A lot of you dudes out there, quit clowning. You get in there and you stick that chick. A lot of you women, stop being hateful. Stop playing off into these stories. Men are this, those men on scripts are just like that. But they got writers. You find yourself a guy, I don't care if you find him at the grocery store or you find him walking down the street. Today, make a baby for the Gipper. Bring in new life for the show. Don't send in no donations until you get laid. I want more babies on this planet so that our numbers in humanity will grow. And I'm talking babies of all races, flavors, persuasions, whatever you want to call it. I want human babies today. And you guys can make it happen. You guys have the power to make it happen. There's some terrible things ahead, folks. And for the sake of humanity, we are going to need as many of us as humanly possible. So stop playing and get busy. Now, that's my public service announcement for today. Make some babies. All right, now, let's go on to the news. American Airlines keeps canceling flights. Well, I bet you they probably have some sort of computer malfunction, I would imagine. Tesla owner locked out of car as app goes down. All Americans pick up fight. Yeah, there's really not... This is disgusting. They got a crow with a child buried up to its neck in dirt. Holocaust masterpiece? How can putting imaginary bullshit on film that glorifies, because of the fact you literally put it on film, that's a glorification, by the way, death, suffering, degradation, and destruction of the human. How could that ever be considered a masterpiece? Could it be the master is piecing this shit together? Could it be what, like I just said before, they got to let you know the method before the method hits you? They got to let you know what's on their mind. Holocaust is on the master's mind, and he has a piece. A piece is a gun. And he's the master of that piece. And like I always say, it's going to be a celebration. And when you know, Holocaust masterpiece caused uproar at Venice Film Festival. A festival is a celebration. Incest, bestiality, rape, mutilation. And you guys want to talk about some kid playing a video game? Get real, old people. Get real, grandma and grandpa, mom and dad. Get fucking real. And you actually have the audacity to wonder why the children don't look up, don't want to hear what you got to say, because you're not saying shit. You're not doing shit. You got little brothers out here in the streets ready to put in real work to uplift humanity, but the old people won't even fund it. No, I know why. I get it. You're too busy funding Bayer and Purdue Pharma. You're too busy funding that damn doctor who don't give two fucks about you. Why do I say this? Why do I say this? It's because if we ain't going to fund this thing, if we're not going to fund the young brothers and sisters out there in the streets right now, we're not going to fund folks like Dr. Randy Shorts. We're not going to fund sisters like Sister Gaines. Help them out. We're not going to fund brothers like Brother Ben. We're not going to help, we're not going to help ourselves. Then we're going to most certainly die. And then 75 years from now, they can make a film about the American Holocaust. Hitler's command train was named America. Trains and more trains. Keep playing our bullshit little fantasy games. Keep not looking out for your brother or your sister or humanity in general. Then you're never going to change the path that humanity has been apparently rewound on, played back on. We're playing this bullshit over and over and over and over. Don't you guys sometimes get the sense that time is not exactly what it appears to be? Don't you guys sometimes get the sense that, fuck, it almost seems like I've lived this shit before? Like, why the fuck am I back down here on this motherfucker? And I'm not talking about deja vu. Don't you ever get the sense, Yao, that in a certain respect, life is a damn rerun? Like as if this whole universe has been syndicated. And the only thing that changes are the commercials. The program stays the same, commercial changes. It's like this is from Brother Bird. It's like we're on death row without being in prison. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? You have been sentenced to death. You are to go to earth and await execution. But Your Honor, no, sobbing and shit. No, Your Honor, not earth. Brother Derek, welcome to the show, brother. Peace, love, light, unity, victory. Welcome. And while we're sitting here on earth, our prison, waiting for our execution, we got other prisoners trying to run game on us. Yo, I'm like the judge, yo. Bow down to me. Get the fuck out of here. You're going to die just like me. You were sentenced just like me. That should be the source. That should be our greatest source of unity. It's the fact that we are all doomed to die. So instead of sitting around here like a bunch of prisoners fighting and bickering with each other, let's do something the jail wardens never expected us to do. Unite. And have the true victory. Like in prison, the only true victory you can really have, aside from breaking the chains and actually getting free, would be being free of spirit and mind and body. Think about this, and this is just now coming to me. I don't know where it's coming to me. A prison, in respects to the natural world, it's the safest place for a human to be, as long as the prisoners aren't violent and disruptive. How many prisoners got bit by snakes in the jail? How many prisoners were involved in drive-by shootings? How many prisoners get butt raped? Well, that's totally different. Once again, as long as the other prisoners aren't into it, or the guards. If you took out the violence, if you took out the exploitation, you might actually have a chance to truly rehabilitate souls who were born into a wicked family, perhaps, where the mom and dad abused the child and just gave it a shitty existence right from the badge. Or if a person who had the right training went awry, deviated from the intended course, you might actually have an opportunity to teach and instruct that individual. But the way it's set up now, it's a horror show, straight up horror show. So just keep that in mind. As above, so too below. As outside, so too inside. Many of us, by the way we think, by the way we talk, by the way we act. You might be missing the orange jumpsuit, and you might be missing the physical bars. But for real, you're just as much of a prisoner as any prisoner has ever been in the history of imprisonment. Because imprisonment started like everything else started. The ideal, we're going to take this individual out of society and put them in a box, that is somewhat of a new concept. Because it used to be, if you wasn't contributing to the group or the tribe, I don't got time to put you in some box somewhere and make other people watch. No, we're killing your ass and we're moving on. Now, miracle. Woman survives 80-foot fall down cliff. Oh, I bet you that's some bullshit, but You got to be careful, guys. A lot of these stories are fake. They're fake stories. Vegetarians gaining ground in carnivorous Argentina. Wow. And here's something. Unless you go out in the woods and you actually eat real, I hate using this word now that I know what shit really means, but I'm going to use it just to clarify it for everybody. Meat. All right, meat. Animal meat. If you don't go out in the woods and make a little fire and cook animal meat, whether it be a whatever, and consume it right then and there, I'm telling you right now to your face, you don't really like them hamburgers and steaks you buy at the store. You like the chemical additives they put in it. If people were to eat real beef, if people were to eat real pork, if people was to eat real lamb, chicken, and fish without the additives they put in the meat as they process it, you'll have a lot more vegetarians. I have no doubt about that. There's a word that people often use when they're serving unprocessed meat. It may taste a little gamey. A little gamey. See, game, it's a game. It's a big joke. It's not even meat. Meat is nuts. Meat is fruit. The fruit of the meat of the fruit or the meat of the nut. That's meat. Animals are not meat. Animals are animals. And it's so funny how that word carnivore is so close to cannibal. It's almost as if by consuming another life that's so similar to us in so many ways, whether it be an insect, a bird, a monkey, you're in essence committing cannibalism. You are meant to eat plants. There it is. There it fucking is. Human being, you were meant to eat plants exclusively. You were meant to eat nut, and you were meant to eat fruit. You were meant to eat root. You was meant to eat stem, and you were meant to eat leaf. That's the 5 components that should be your diet. But because human, you're smart and inventive, and just like a prisoner behind bars would take, not we, but the prisoner would take a ramen noodle and hook that up and make something. Well, prisoner, you took animals and you turn it into meat by adding what? You add spices, you add herbs, which are plants. You add back the plant to the meat so it can taste right to you. Because your body knows you're not supposed to eat flesh, blood. You're not supposed to eat flesh and blood. You are not supposed to eat flesh and blood. But because you do, you're going to have to suffer the consequences. The karmatic debt for eating animal is high blood pressure, being fucking fat, out of shape, about ready to die of a heart attack or stroke. That's the karmatic debt from lying to yourself. I'm eating me some meat. You're lying to yourself. You're consuming flesh. Is what you're doing. And the grease, or if you don't well done, well cook that steak, the so-called juice, that's the blood. Now eat it if you want to. I'm not gonna bullshit this because I'm right there with you. I'm right there in the boat with you with a pork chop and a piece of turkey drumstick in my other hand. Cooking you a steak. I'm right there with you. But I'm not gonna lie to you, even though I know I'm doing wrong, right there with you. I shouldn't be eating so-called animal meat either. And perhaps this is a part of the show that helps me to grow. Kill that pork, yo. I'm just doing this for analogy purposes, guys. Now, I'm not no closet porker. I got a history of eating pork. I'm not going to lie, bacon, pork shoulders, pork chop, sausages, bratwurst, smoked sausage, Jamaican jerk pork. Yeah, I can go on and on. I lived on this mug. I've been in prison, y'all, for 47 years. So I'm going to make a couple of sandwiches from time to time, like any prisoner. And once you start looking at this thing like that, it gives you strength, man. I survived Earth Supermax, Galactical Supermax prison. That's what Earth is. I don't know how the levels go, but we would be like a level 10. I wish I would have been born into like a level 1. That would have been nice. But I'm down here with the rapist, the pedophile, the racist, the misogynist, the con men, the fucking pimps, dope dealers, gangbangers, white nationalists, fucking this homicidal maniac, sociopaths. That's the other prisoners I'm down here with, and you're down here too. So you should be patting yourself on the back because you're surviving Supermax as well. And that's just the government officials I'm talking about. Not to mention the other whack jobs on the streets. Just the government officials. Listen, NSA, FBI, CIA. Oh, by the way, any of my new friends from overseas listening to the show, welcome to the show. We broadcast here in Missouri. Misery. Maybe that's why I talk about pain so much, because I'm living in misery. Where Missouri won't kill you, the women certainly will. You know, I'm just saying. I just want to say, this show, when I talk about humanity, I'm talking about you too, brothers and sisters. My brothers and sisters over in France, Kanya, doing your wonderful work. In fact, I got to reach out to her and bring her back on the show. Brother Roman Light, Brother Coach Abdullah. Hold on. Oh, there it is. I'm just trying to think of all the people we've had from overseas, not outside these United States. Oh God, Ambassador Dr. Golan, Dr. Chinzira, Sister Bantu. Yeah, we had a number of outside folks. What I mean by outside our cell block. Because from now on, I don't live in a country. I live in the United States cell. What cell do you live in? Because we're on this prison together, baby. And guess what? There's only one way out the door. That's why it's a Supermax. You don't go out on a stretcher. You don't get no furlough. You don't get no conjugative visits, letters from friends and family. You don't get phone calls. You don't get none of that. You only get time. Now that that's settled, brothers and sisters, fellow prisoners, will you join with me? Straight up, will you join with me to help liberate humanity? will you join with me to help us break these walls and get off this jail, this prison mudball planet? I want to get off. I know many of you want to get off. The only ones holding us back are these deluded, polluted minds claiming divine divinity to rule. They had the divine right to rule. You're a prisoner just like me. You don't have shit but death coming to you. Now, granted, you got goons. Granted, you got a squad, and you can put me to death. Of course, I'm going to probably take a couple of your goons out, but you don't care about them. I'm asking you to. Could you please put aside your delusions and work with us? Use your vast resources. Use the gold that for centuries was being hoarded so people cannot enjoy their lives. Use that vast resource for true research and development and open up the doors to the fucking secrets so we can build some spaceships and get the fuck out of here. For those who know, there's a wave coming. This is outside of our particular game that we play on this planet amongst ourselves. There's a wave coming from outside the earth, a huge wave. And when it breaks on this planet, I don't want to be around. You don't want to be around either. That's why there has been a change of tack. We have to unite totally and completely, unite, use our resources, and get the fuck up out of here. And I'm talking about years and years down the way. No, we still have to go through the bullshit pain and growing psychologically what we need to in this era and generation. Meaning there's going to have to be the Holocaust and then the Great Regret. Oh my God. And for the one or two motherfuckers, from what I'm understanding, the one or two people who survive it, you guys are going to be treated like nobody's business. Like it's going to be awesome for you. You're going to just, it's going to be a good time. So they say. I don't see that. I don't see how you can be happy knowing that your family's wiped out, but yeah, you live. That seems kind of illogical, but whatever. I don't make the news. I just repeat what I hear. And that is true. You know, I repeat what I hear. Where I hear it from a person, I don't hear voices in my head. So let's just get that straight right now. Now, I do get like a feeling that comes over me or whatever. But I don't hear like, you must say this, because I wouldn't be able to talk and listen at the same time. If I had that ability, I bet you I would be schizophrenic like that. And you know, there's good and bad in everything. And now take this with a grain of salt what I'm about ready to say. But do you think there could be potentially good schizophrenics and you know, as opposed to the bad ones, you know, hey, Mr. Wimplecough, how are you doing today? And they're just having a complete conversation. Like, could there really be good schizophrenics or people who portray schizophrenic traits, such as hearing voices in their head, but they're actually hearing some sort of advanced being commune with them? And whatever I guess it'd be obvious in whatever they're producing. So thus far, the only, you know, schizophrenic shit I've seen being produced are crazy laws saying, you know, you can't have sex unless you're 18, but you can get married at 15 and no one goes to jail as long as the parents are cool with it. Yes, that is going on. See, apparently a lot of these rich men like little 15-year-old girls. Poor men too, apparently. Now, maybe that's some biological residue left over from, maybe, you know, the scientists are right. Maybe certain human beings, or certain beings that look human. That's a better way of saying it. Maybe certain beings that look human evolved from monkeys. Like, God made man, right? God made the original man. And then the devil made, his version of man using animals and shit. You take a little monkey, you take a little angel semen, you mix it up, you shake it all around. Evolution is what it's all about, Nigga, it's drug. It's not. See, once again, when you use the word drugs, you think about this here. Anytime you eat a delightful piece of cake or pie or whatever, that sugar sends that deal to your head to open up the endorphin file, your natural feel-good juice. That if you're not a drug user, that's how you operate. You feel good, really high when you're doing something, or you achieve something, you feel really great, and that's your natural endorphins coming through. All right. Everything on this planet is a drug. In its truest sense, everything is. From this show to the box of peanut butter crackers that I see over there, to this computer, to the 211 in my refrigerator, to the bottle of American honey underneath my bed. Anyhow, enough of that. The thing is what I'm saying is ultimately anything that controls your ability to be happy or sad or whatever, that's a drug. We have to understand. Top of the morning, Shogun. Welcome to the show. Peace and power. Now, I forgot what I was about ready to say. I see Brother Shogun. I totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the bad part about being down here on the earth for 47 years. Sometimes you forget what the fuck you're going to say. Help me out, Brother Leonard. What's up? They just admitted on the news that soda is killing us. Shorten our lifespan, especially diet. Let's go. Thank you, Brother Leonard. Well, when people want to die, wow. Scarlett Johansson is a child fucker advocate. She just says, Scarlett Johansson, Woody Allen's innocent. That's the type of chick. Disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Hold on, let me go to the soda deal. Because everybody has drunken a soda pop. All right? Soda pop is killing people. Well, this is kind of shit from fucking. Okay. I'll take it off the pop. Fuck it. I guess we don't say the word soda pop anymore. Pretty whack, but this is the future. 18 hours ago. Now, this is more like it. And I'm going to tell you guys, the reason why diet soda is so bad for you, it's a little ingredient called aspartame. Aspartame is basically bacteria shit from GMO, I believe. What is that bullshit on the food? Oh, my God. There's so much information. Obviously, this is not what I'm supposed to be talking about, but I'm going to talk about it. GMO Ebola. GMO Ebola bacteria. They harvest the fecal material from it, whip it up into aspartame, put it in your diet drink, and it tricks your mind into thinking it's sweet, but you're really drinking some shit. Quite literally, bacterium shit. Now, here's the game. See, every game comes with rules. That's the beautiful thing about it. Now, you can put these rules in however you want, but I'm going to simplify it. The means never justifies, or the end never justifies the means. The end never justifies the means, or the justification of the means never did. Whatever. In other words, let it be real. Whatever you consume, let it be real to you. That fake shit don't play out, man. That's like drinking diet soda is akin to having sex with a transgendered person. You're supposed to be faking the effects of real, but you would never get the real effect. Maybe that's too much of a stretch. I don't know, folks. I'm just feeling, I'm getting like this huge psychic energy, but it's like discombobulated. I don't understand it. But it's huge. It's like huge in scope. Anyhow, I've been telling people the soda, the water, the air, your soil, and your diet for the past about year and a half. Honestly, I've been telling you that's what's killing you. But I've only been saying this underneath this latest internet incarnation of myself. If you look at some of my other works, you would see that I've been saying the government's out to kill you. You guys are dumb as fuck. We're foolish as fuck. We've been manipulated. This is all a fucking sham. I have been saying that message going all the way back to maybe 1992. 1992 is when I started that. But I have come and gone underneath so many names. I would almost suspect that some of you listeners may have been drawn to me because when I leave a persona, I just leave. I just ghost out and I never return to it. You recognize me by some of the little plants that I planted all over the internet. It's a little garden plot here, a little garden plot there. And that's an operation, by the way. Not just mine. You should look that up sometime. Operation Garden Plot. I'm sorry, Yao. I'm getting like a massive dose of confusion. I can barely talk. I'm going to have to end the show immediately. I am so sorry. Much apologies. Please live your life with integrity, without hate, envy, and greed. As always, brothers and sisters, I ask you, please be kind to each other. Peace and power. Unity, victory. I'm out.